Now that our enterprise CA is installed, we'll start treating it like a live service. In this module, we'll walk through core CA settings, permissions, and extensions, look at activity and auditing, and use tools like the Certification Authority Console, certutil, and PowerShell to handle day-to-day management. So far, you've built a solid PKI foundation. First, core concepts and certificate behavior, then the lab environment and Active Directory, and most recently, an enterprise CA. In this module, we shift from building to operating, learning how to administer that CA safely before we move on to automating templates and enrollment. Installing ADCS only gives you the certificate authority role. It doesn't make the service reliable or secure. Turning it into a managed PKI means understanding how it issues certificates, configuring policies, and locking down access. You need to track issued, pending, failed, and revoked requests, manage permissions and trust, and maintain strong auditing. When this is done well, you reduce outages and misconfigurations and sharply lower overall security risk. The Certification Authority Console is your primary dashboard for a Microsoft CA. You can open it from Server Manager, Administrative Tools, or by running certsrv.msc. Each container gives you a different view of CA activity. Issued certificates shows what the CA has approved. Pending and failed requests help you troubleshoot enrollment issues. Revoked certificates tracks what's been invalidated, and certificate templates and CA properties are where you adjust behavior and policies. The issued certificates view is your proof that enrollment actually worked. Every row represents a completed request. Who requested it, which template they used, when it was issued, when it expires, and its unique serial number. When someone says, "I enrolled but nothing works," this is where you confirm what really happened. You can open any certificate, review its details, and quickly see whether manual or automatic enrollment actually succeeded. Pending requests are still alive. The CA just hasn't made a decision yet. Typically, a template or policy requires manual approval, extra identity verification, or another system to complete processing. Failed requests, on the other hand, are effectively dead and won't issue without changes. Something violated policy, permissions, the chosen template, or the request format. As an admin, always read the failed request details. They're your best clues to fix misconfigurations and prevent repeat enrollment problems. Revocation is how a CA declares this certificate is no longer valid, even though it hasn't expired. An administrator marks it in the CA database, often because the key was compromised, the owner left or changed roles, the certificate was superseded, or the system was decommissioned. The CA then publishes that status into CRLs, which clients download and check. If a certificate appears in the list, clients must treat it as untrusted and stop using it. Certificate templates act as blueprints that control what the CA is allowed to issue. Each template defines the certificate's purpose, how the subject name is constructed, and which cryptographic settings and key usages are required. It also encodes who is allowed to enroll for that certificate type. Once a template is published to a CA, it becomes available for users or computers to request, and the CA will only issue certificates that match those approved templates. Dista Properties is the control center for how your certification authority behaves. From here, you can see basic CA details, decide who can manage and enroll, define policy rules, configure exit modules that send events elsewhere, and choose where and how certificates and CRLs are published. Many of these changes only take effect after restarting the CA service, so treat this dialog like production infrastructure. Plan changes, test them, document them, and avoid casual experimentation. Anytime you install or modify a CA, run a quick identity and health check. Start by confirming the CA name matches your design. A wrong name often means you're connected to the wrong instance. Then verify the certificate dates and make sure the chain builds cleanly to a trusted root. Confirm the cryptographic provider is the one you intended. Finally, review expiration dates so you can schedule renewals well before they impact availability. When a request hits an enterprise CA, the policy module is the decision engine that determines what happens next. It evaluates the selected template and the requester's identity through Active Directory. If the template allows auto-enrollment and permissions align, the certificate is issued immediately. If the template requires manager or admin approval, the request is placed in a pending state. If the requester isn't authorized for that template, the request is denied and enrollment is effectively blocked. After a certificate is issued, the exit module controls what happens with it. It can publish the certificate to directories or repositories, trigger alerts or emails to systems and users, or update external applications that depend on that certificate. Most organizations keep the default behavior, but any change can affect how quickly certificates become discoverable or whether relying systems are notified. Treat exit module changes like code. Test them carefully before deploying to production. Think of CA security in two layers. First, permissions control who can take actions, manage the CA, issue or revoke certificates, request them, or just read data. Assign these rights to admin groups rather than individual users so access is easier to review and remove. Second, auditing records what they actually do: issuance, revocation, and configuration changes. Those records only appear if Windows security auditing is enabled and properly scoped to capture CA activity. Certutil is your direct command line interface to the CA. Start with certutil config, ping to confirm the CA is reachable. Then use certutil getConfig to see which CA you're connected to, and certutil dump for detailed configuration and status, very useful for troubleshooting. PowerShell complements this. Get service certsrv quickly shows whether the CA service is running, and PowerShell scripts let you automate these checks and build repeatable administrative workflows. You've now seen how to operate a CA day-to-day, watching activity in the console, tuning core properties, and using certutil and PowerShell to verify and troubleshoot. In the next module, we'll build on this by designing and managing certificate templates that drive enrollment, auto-enrollment, and revocation behavior.